Hello and welcome to another colony submission video, number 13 in our series, taking a look at what you guys are up to, what interesting things you're coming up with, and possibly getting some inspiration for other things. This one, submitted by PKA Martin, was inspired by our own Project 1K playthrough, except you're going to see this one is a lot more aesthetically minded and a lot more efficient. We have a tremendously huge reservoir on top, and of course the tiered planting as well, but that's more or less where the similarities end here. Let's peel this back all the way to the very bottom, like I do enjoy doing in each one of these. And you're going to see this entire bottom level, instead of trees that we have in our playthrough, is all business. We've got all sorts of power being generated with these one wide water wheels here. We got the bad water coming out of our bad water source up on layer, wherever it was, layer 9. Just harmlessly falling through here, not polluting any other land. All the way down to the bottom, we got bad water pumps, of course, to make use of that for all of those processes. But then it just goes all the way through here, generating, drum roll please, 16,000 HP. Just from this and a couple of engines over here in the corner to get to everything completely covered. And boy, look, look at all this stuff down here. This is a lot more than we've currently built, and to be fair, there are more beavers than we're currently having in ours as well. We've got 234 and 282 bots taking care of all the actual work. You're going to notice that the working hours are set to 0. But yeah, if I were a little bit more efficient, a little bit better at what I was doing, we'd probably have maybe half as much as we have going on here. But everything is just so nicely laid out. I always love seeing stuff really nicely organized. You're also going to notice there's no mods, no ladders, no tiny two-boy stations. So this is completely vanilla, even though I do have those installed on my computer because I'm playing with them. They're not used in this build. Everything is just straight up what the game lets you do on the box. And yes, Number Cruncher fans, there are 2 of them over here for your enjoyment. And we do have plenty of stuff taken care here. But let's go up layer by layer, as we do. We've got 2 ways, of course, for transportation with the bots. There are a couple of regular bio beavers down here as well. And what you're going to notice is that all of the storage here is basically all down here with all of our industrial stuff. But there's going to be a lot less storage than you might think is necessary as we continue moving up. So this is one of our first layers here. We've got trees, we've got a lot of mangroves, we've got a lot of berries, and you're going to notice that we have a lot of these pine trees for the resin. We've got actually fewer oak trees than I thought were going to be needed for this, but after a certain point, once it's all built, as the submitter notes in the submission text here, which I guess I probably should put on the screen at some point so you can read it. Once everything's built, you kind of don't need that much production anymore, and you definitely don't need that much storage if you have everything optimized. So that is why this playthrough ends up looking a whole lot nicer, a whole lot neater than what we've got going on in ours. But you're going to see a similar kind of pattern with the poles here and everything. And once again, because there's no ladders, it does have to kind of be laid out a little bit differently. But we still have plenty of tube ways, plenty of convenient, cleanly organized ways to get around. And then on this layer up here, we do have some coffee beans. As we continue going up as well, you're going to see all of these trees. You're going to see a whole bunch of the logistics for the bots to make everything work nicely. And yes, this playthrough is using hydroponic gardens, which I more or less decided I'm probably not going to be able to do. We might try it anyway, but like everything here is just really well organized. We got 240 beavers. Apparently, people on Reddit seem to think this could support maybe close to 800. But again, just really nicely done. I love things being in nice, congruent rows. And we do have water up here as well for some of this irrigation stuff and some pumping. And tube ways, of course, bio beavers using these a whole lot now because we do have food storage up here. As we continue going up, you're going to see another level of that. More of these stations. This is essentially perfectly dividing this into quadrants, even though it's not split physically on the map. We do have tube-way stations in each of these corners. Pretty evenly divided here. Another layer of farming. And then up here, we start to have the beaver paradise. And look at this. We got our indoctrination stations here. Of course, those have to be on the regular ground. But still, a minimal layer height here. We do have the Earth Repopulator, which of course you know we're going to fire off because that's always how this goes. But look at how nicely these houses are organized. And we have campfires. Let's go up one more level so we can see all the paths. Campfires. We've got exercise plazas spaced apart. We've got swimming. We've got the wind tunnels, which I always think are really, really funny when there's stuff above them and the beavers crash into it because they don't really care, but they got plenty of clearance here. I really like how this is laid out. And it's vanilla. It's all 100% vanilla, which I am normally kind of afraid to do, but this goes to show you can actually do a whole lot without getting mods if that is the way you prefer to play. But we've got a nice coverage with all sorts of well-being things. Continue going up. We do have, wow, the tribute to ingenuity. We've got the laborer monument. We've got the other laborer monument. And then just all, look at all this stuff. And it's all organized so nicely. I wish I could see, you know, through this instead of having this cross-hatching here. But let's get this through the rest of the night here on triple speed. I'll show you a little bit more of what we're looking at here. Of course, this is super small, but super slow time. The time is small. There we go. This is how you know I've had a very long day. But the tribute to ingenuity is still connected to all of our power here. And I'm actually not sure how that was accomplished. Let's peel this back. I'm guessing I just missed one of those power shafts. Or, oh, actually, you know what I bet it was? It's our row houses. Yeah, because those do transmit power, and you just, you can't really see quite down in there. But as we continue coming up here, turn this back on, you're going to notice that this is just completely dwarfing everything else done here, all the way up to the very top layer of the map, which, of course, does also remove the need for overflow. This just goes right off the edge of the map because it's right up next to it. And right here, we've got control towers. There's only 4. Only 4 to cover all of that, minus the little bits in the middle. But the bots aren't going to spend that much time outside of these areas anyway. I don't think I could have made a more... Well, I definitely know I couldn't have made a more efficient version of this if I tried. But I don't know that a more efficient version of this really would be possible, to be perfectly honest with you. I just really like how this is set up. And it's even, you know, it's got a little bit of... what's the... architectural style I'm thinking of here. I don't know. It's lost to me. Someone in the comments I'm sure is going to identify it, but I like this kind of stuff, man. It looks cool. And that's something I don't really focus on a whole lot in my stuff, because I just like, oh, hey, cool. What if we had 1,000 beavers on the tiny map? That would be fun. Like, okay, well, I didn't make it look good, but I guess we could probably make that happen. Anyway, I digress. This is just really well done. Just taking a look at the submission, make sure I didn't forget anything here. The submitter does think this can support 1,000 beavers long term, but like we saw before in one of the other submissions for the big diorama builds, a lot of people's computers just really cannot handle that many beavers. So what I'm going to do, in addition to firing this off, I'm going to get a bunch of beavers in here. I'm not going to wait for them to spawn out of the breeding pod, so that would just take entirely too long. And I don't really know where I could build that many of them. But we're going to get those spawned in, so I'm going to jump into dev mode real quick and pop those guys in, get that time-lapsed for you. And then I'm just going to run this and see if our numbers of water and food stay relatively stable or not. Okay, so I did have to reload because I accidentally clicked on bots first instead of beavers. But we do have over 1,000 bio beavers here, and I am very interested to see, because obviously this was not designed to support 1,000 beavers continuously, but I do want to see just how well this is going to go. So there is going to be a little bit more time-lapsing here, as you're seeing still happening. Going to see maybe throughout a whole cycle what ends up happening. But at any rate, I just really like this map. I think it's super cool. I'm glad that people are attempting the 1,000 beaver challenge or adjacent challenges of just making dioramas something completely insane. We've had a lot of those, and I do have a lot more in the queue. I'm trying not to do so many diorama challenge videos back to back to back. So I am trying to intersperse other stuff in there. But I really like that you guys like that idea. I thought it was cool. Obviously, people have done similar stuff before. I didn't invent it, but just to see the amount of these things that you guys are saying, hey, that sounds like a cool idea. I want to try it too. That's what this is about. That's what it's supposed to be about. It's about fostering a community and having a good time rallying around an idea or a cause, or in this case, just having fun playing with beavers on the internet, like I always end up saying. But while we're waiting for these beavers to wreak havoc on the supply chain of this map, I guess we can go ahead and get the rest of our stuff out of the way here. I am still accepting submissions for any faction, any map on the colony submissions. There's a link in the description. It doesn't have to just be Diorama. It doesn't have to just be Iron Teeth or whatever. But especially if you have anything from factions that are not the Iron Teeth, I would really love to see those, because probably about 80% of the submissions are Iron Teeth, and variety is the spice of life, so on and so forth. But genuinely cannot do it without your support, including the beard boosters, subsidizing everything we do here, to make it possible to take a couple days a week and just have a fun time looking at other people's colonies and submissions, and not just brute forcing the YouTube algorithm to get maximum views on a 5-episode series and then starting something else. And look, I want to have a good time playing the game without worrying about all that stuff. And those folks make it possible. Drought approaching warning, of course, you're not going to see that on the screen, but it did pop up while I was doing this. So I can tell you right off the bat, without this having ended, that the water supply and the food supply are not producing fast enough to keep up with the consumption. But I think the map is going to be able to support it without building probably too much in the way of additional farmland. Obviously, water pumps can only go so fast. But I think the way that this map is currently set up, if you just added a couple more water pumps, and by a couple more, I mean, I don't know, like another 30 or something. I haven't done the math on it. I think the map can support a pretty robust population of biobeavers with maybe just a little bit more food processing. You're growing plenty of crops. It doesn't have to be something completely insane. Alright, so here's cycle 61. Let's hit pause, because I want to show you something. Turn the water back on. Let's take this all the way up. You'll notice that despite having... Well, it was a short drought, because this is normal mode, not hard mode, but this is all the water that left. Just a block and a half. That's it. And this is, 50 by 50, well, technically 48 by 48 on the inside. But this is all the water that was pumped or evaporated that entire drought. And the water storage is still like 60% full. And the food, a lot of it, is still full, with the exception of the fermented cassavas and then the fermented mushrooms, and especially the mangrove fruits. But, a lot of this stuff held up pretty well. And, of course, now all the beavers that I placed at the start of this time-lapse are starting to die off. We didn't technically have 1,000 for the whole duration, but, I'm really impressed with how the map has held up. Obviously, some of this raw stuff is not keeping pace, but plenty of eggplants, plenty of eggplant rations. Yeah, okay, it could maybe be processed a tiny bit faster, but it's held up strong. The corn is held up strong. We still have plenty of corn in storage, 750. You don't have a storage for the raw corn, so that's, I guess, the way that is. There's a reason I haven't unpaused yet, because I want to see exactly which crops are left unharvested, but I can't stop thinking about this. There's so much left over, even after I more than tripled your population for the rest of that cycle, which I guess is technically only like 8 days or whatever, but I'm very impressed. You've done a really good job. Let's peel this back and take a look at all of the crops here. All the way down. Go up level by level. Obviously, there's no crops to be found here. Trees are trees, but the berries... There's still so many of these that haven't been harvested, and I know that's probably a function of, only having a couple of gatherer flags. Actually, how many do you have? I'm very curious. I should have looked at this before I hit record, but I see 6 gatherer flags. Okay, so maybe if you put a couple more of those in, then you'd have tons of berries. But you still have almost completely full storage. Well, you do have completely full storage. You have 1,200 of those, then you have 80 of them in the gatherer flags, which I know will hold a little bit more than that. But going up, we've got mangrove trees. Obviously, these are what they are. You're not going to get anything else out of this without having additional stuff. Coffee's still looking really good. More trees, again, still looking good. Look at all these crops that are unharvested at this point. Kohlrabi's, tons of corn. We got everything. Everything has something left to give. Same story up here. You get a lot of canola. You probably don't need that much, but I'm so impressed. Like, there's so much more capacity on this. And I kind of want to sit here and play with this a little bit more, but I am unfortunately running out of time. I just wanted to show everybody that this map could do it. regardless of whether or not you had all of the processing to actually, take care of all this, the infrastructure with the farming is really impressive. So that brings us to the water coming back in, because it is the start of a new cycle after a drought. I didn't talk about this, and I really should have. This is kind of, I think, what a lot of people wanted me to build, and I elected not to, at least the first time around. We might go back and change it. But this is just a really simple setup, but it works. The single relief valve for the bad water, one level below, so this can never flood with bad water. And then it just comes through here, and it comes up through the center, pressurizes all the way through here, spills out into here, but not from below. All of this comes up here, and then you might have noticed during the time lapse, see if I can find one of these. There's a couple spots where it actually, I'm going to have to come in from above. There's a couple spots where it actually drops down through sluices to automatically irrigate. And I am trying so hard to find where those are. No, that's just decoration. I can't for the life of me figure out where that is. I know it exists. I know it's a thing because I can see the things opening up and then, refilling this pond here. Well, good job. You hit it in a way that I couldn't really find it. Wait a second. There it is. There it is. How did I... Okay. I don't know how I missed that, but you got 3 of them there. And then it looks like that is... Wait a second. Is that even related to the same thing I'm talking about? I don't know. I think you've eclipsed my brain's capacity for knowledge and analysis with this one. Good job. But yeah, I like this a lot. This is really cool. Really, really, really good stuff. I wish you were able to run 1,000 beavers on this, because I think you'd get a huge kick out of this. But hopefully that was, interesting seeing all that. I still want to set this off. I always want to set it off. So, as we do, we'll wait till the sunset to take care of that. But yeah, I love this. Please continue doing fun stuff like this. You mentioned in your submission and then in the Discord that there's other similar things, and I would absolutely love to see them. So please do always submit, anybody, not just, the person that made this. Please always submit these things. Even if I can't get to every single one of them for a video, I do really enjoy taking a look at what you guys are doing and getting some ideas. Wait. Water's coming out. We have an opportunity. All right. That's coming from there. There it is. How did I not see this? It just works. But instead of Skyrim for smart fridge, this is actually useful. Come on. How can you not love this? How can you not love this? All right, all joking aside, we need to actually set this off, because now this video is going to be entirely too long for a colony video. But we're going to hit launch. We're going to go into first-person mode, because that's what we always do. And I'm going to pop us up on top of... Oh, that didn't quite work. Oh, come on. Come on, don't get caught in here. I want to look at the I want to look at this thing flying off. What corner of the known universe is this going off from? Well, I did it this time, folks. I went to the complete wrong side of the map, but you can see those things flying off. So good job me, I guess. Congratulations on missing all of that. Well, oh wait, here it is. I guess firing through the reservoir is a thing that doesn't kill regular beavers. So, good job for that. And with this this last little bit leaving here, despite my failure to catch it on camera the first time, that is where we're going to leave it. Once again, I really appreciate you guys sending these in. And, of course, Beard Boosters supporting everything, like I said earlier. This is the kind of stuff I want to do with this game. I don't want to chase the algorithm. I just want to have a good time with the beavers. If the videos do well, great. If they don't, cool. Whatever. We're having fun. That's what matters. Whatever it is you're doing with the rest of your day, stay safe, have fun, and we'll see you back again soon for more beavers, whether it's me or somebody else. Take care. Bye-bye.